Hi everyone, my name is Gautam Gupta and I want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Universal Fundamentals. In this video, I'm going to continue my series on the 2026 yearly predictions for all of the 12 ascendants and moon signs by specifically talking about the zodiac sign of Leo. Now, 2026 is going to be an eventful year. A lot of things will be unfolding rather quickly, and the reason why I say this is because Jupiter is going to transit through three signs this year. So a lot of positive potentials that are shown in your own birth chart are going to shine through quite rapidly. And you have to be ready to take advantage of all of these opportunities coming your way. I will also discuss how transiting Saturn, as well as the nodes Rahu and Ketu, will be affecting you all personally based on your birth chart. Now, before I begin this discussion in detail, I do want to remind everyone to please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com, where you can learn more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer. You can also check out the various services that I offer, and I will be leaving links down below so you all can check that out in more detail. I also want to remind everyone that I do practice sidereal Vedic astrology and not Western tropical astrology. Also, if you found this video to be helpful and useful, then please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Doing so will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm so this video and my channel can reach a vast audience. So with that being said, I will now begin discussing how all of these planetary transits will be affecting a Leo ascendant and or moon sign for the year 2026. So the first transit I will be discussing for a Leo ascendant and or moon sign is that Rahu is going to remain in your seventh house of Aquarius, and Ketu is going to be in your first house of Leo until November 24th of 2026. Now, with Ketu being in your first house of Leo, this is telling me that you may still be feeling a bit disconnected from the people around you. But this is going to continue to give you an opportunity to spend some time alone and contemplate about the things which really matter to you. This is also a great transit for introspection and self-reflection. Now, with Ketu's fifth aspect to your fifth house, this tells me that you will continue to take a much more spiritual approach when it comes to interacting and connecting with your children, as well as when it comes to dealing with your speculative investments. And this will continue to help cultivate a deeper understanding with one another, especially since Jupiter in Gemini is aspecting your fifth house as well until May 31st of 2026. And with Ketu's ninth aspect to your ninth house, this tells me that you will also continue to take a much more spiritual approach when it comes to interacting with your father and teachers. There will be a great interest in the area of spirituality, and this can help you grow on an internal level. However, there could still be a temporary disconnect in your higher education studies. So it will be important to address any issues according to the circumstances. Then, with transiting Rahu into your seventh house, this tells me that relationships between your business partners and or significant other will still be important for you. There may be instances where your partners remain extremely overbearing and demanding of your attention. So it's going to be important to address clear boundaries, have clear expectations, and clear communication so that both parties will feel comfortable, heard, and respected. And another important aspect about this transit is that while Jupiter is transiting through your 11th house of Gemini, transiting Rahu in your 7th house will cast its fifth aspect to Jupiter in your 11th, and in return, Jupiter will cast its ninth aspect to your 7th house of Aquarius. So this is going to be forming a mutual aspect, and they will both be aspecting your third house of younger siblings, neighbors, short distance travel, social media projects, and even your short stories and articles. So this is still telling me that there are going to be a lot of opportunities for growth and expansion in these areas until May 31st of 2026. So just keep this all in mind as you go through this transit. Now, The next transit I want to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 8th house of Pisces. And this tells me that there can continue to be some temporary delays when it comes to your inheritance or settlement matters. You will need to exercise a lot of patience and due diligence to obtain favorable results. Also, if you are married, then joint assets will still need a lot of your attention. You need to work as a team to manage any issues or concerns regarding your joint assets so that this area in your life can prosper in the future. I also see that some of your in-laws can be going through some difficult challenges and your attention might be needed. Now, with Saturn's third aspect to your 10th house, this tells me that you will continue to put in a lot of effort when it comes to your career, social standing, reputation, and fame in order to maintain good standing. This is a time where shortcuts will not be appreciated. You still need to do things with due diligence and care in order for you to reap these benefits and rewards. Then, with Saturn's seventh aspect to your second house, this tells me that you will still have to do a very thorough and diligent job when it comes to managing your financial situation and dealing with any family matters. There could be a lot of issues and delays that come up between you and your family, and it will be important to address these issues in a loving way in order to maintain peace and harmony. And finally, with Saturn's 10th aspect to your 5th house, this tells me that there could still be some karmic obligations that you may have towards your children, and you will have to pay extra attention to your speculative investments. You will still have to take a lot of consistent action in order to maintain good standing in this area. Now, the good news is that until May 31st of 2026, transiting Jupiter will enter the sign of Gemini, which is in your 11th house, and it will cast its 7th aspect to your 5th house of Sagittarius, which is still creating a point of manifestation until the end of May. So this will actually give you great opportunities to connect with your children, and your speculative investments will do well due to the fact that Jupiter is also protecting your 5th house. Now, this brings me to the next transit I want to talk about, and that is transiting Jupiter will continue to remain in your 11th house of Gemini until May 31st of 2026. Now, Jupiter will remain retrograde until March 10th of 2026. And this tells me that you will continue to revisit the areas that have been put on hold since last August of 2025. And these will be in areas related to your social circles, friends, and or older siblings. There could have been mutual conversations or projects with these people that were left unfinished, and the beginning of 2026 will continue to give you guys opportunities to close any gaps in a positive way. Then, once Jupiter turns direct on March 10th, you're going to find yourself making tremendous progress. You will quickly come to resolutions regarding these dynamics, and you will develop a much closer bond with your friends, social circles, and older siblings. Now, with Jupiter's 5th aspect to your 3rd house, this tells me that while Jupiter is retrograde until March 10th, you will continue to have opportunities to revisit areas related to your projects on any social media projects, short stories, and or articles. You could spend some time editing your writing to make it more polished and presentable. And this is going to help you get positively noticed if you decide to publish your writings once Jupiter turns direct on March 10th. You will also have opportunities to revisit unfinished areas related to your younger siblings, neighbors, and even short distance travel. And I do see you forming a closer relationship with your younger siblings and even neighbors once Jupiter is direct on March 10th. Then, with Jupiter's 7th aspect to your 5th house, this tells me that while Jupiter is retrograde until March 10th, you will still have opportunities to revisit areas related to your children, investments, and creative projects that were left unaddressed since last August. You will have opportunities to rebalance your investment portfolio so that you can make sure you are properly allocating your assets. And this process will also give you the chance to strengthen your connections with your children. You will also continue to make progress in any creative projects that you're working on. And once Jupiter is direct on May 10th, you will see that all the hard work you've been putting into maintaining these areas will massively pay off. Also, since transiting Saturn is also casting its 10th aspect to your 5th house as well, this is providing a point of manifestation. This means that you will continue to have the discipline and focus to obtain success in areas related to your children, investments, and creative projects. And finally, with Jupiter's ninth aspect to your 7th house, this tells me that while Jupiter is retrograde until March 10th, you will still have opportunities to revisit areas regarding your relationship with either your business partners and or significant other that were left unaddressed since last August. And this process will help you form a stronger connection. I also see you revisiting areas related to your self-employment or your own business. You will have opportunities to fine-tune any details so that your business can have a stronger foundation going forward. Then, once Jupiter turns direct on March 10th, you will be able to make better decisions regarding how you want to proceed with these relationships and businesses going forward. Now, starting June 1st of 2026, Jupiter is going to transit your 12th house of Cancer, which will be at its exaltation sign. And it's going to rapidly transit the whole zodiac sign within these next 5 months. Now, last year of October 2025 to early December of 2025, you guys may have already gotten a preview of this transit. And that is because Jupiter briefly entered your 12th house for that 6-week window. And with that transit, you may have thought about traveling internationally to a foreign country. You may have also thought about some of the events that occurred in your past, and that may have prompted you to talk to certain people. Now, this will be the time when you will be able to successfully execute your goals. You will get the right resources to travel internationally and talk to the right people regarding your past experiences. Now, with Jupiter's 5th aspect to your 4th house, this tells me that you will finally be getting much closer to your mother. This is also a good time to work on your real estate or vehicle matters. If you are thinking about upgrading or renovating your cars or home, then this transit will support you. And this is because Jupiter in the 12th house is giving you expenses and its aspect is connected to your home and vehicles. Then with Jupiter's 7th aspect to your 6th house, this tells me that health matters will be quite protected for you. And this is especially because Jupiter's 9th aspect to your 8th house is also aspecting transiting Saturn, which is your 6th lord. So this is also the right transit to get proper medical advice so that you can move forward in a healthy way. Also, I see relationships between your coworkers and employees also being protected as well. You're going to be able to resolve differences in a cordial manner, and this will be conducive to a peaceful working relationship and environment. Now, as we progress towards the end of 2026, Jupiter will briefly enter your first house of Leo starting on October 31st of 2026 until January 23rd of 2027. And that is when Jupiter retrogrades back into your 12th house of Cancer. But while Jupiter is briefly in your first house of Leo for these 3 months, you will get a preview as to what kind of life changes you can expect in the second half of 2027. And this is because Jupiter will re-enter your first house of Leo from June 26th of 2027 till November 25th of 2027. So I want you to pay attention to what happens from October 31st of 2026 till January 23rd of 2027, because this will provide you a trailer for what you can expect later in 2027. So with Jupiter entering your first house of Leo, this is telling me that some of you may consider embarking on a whole new chapter in your life. You may be introduced with opportunities to work on your personal growth and self-development. And this is going to make you feel extremely confident and empowered about yourself. This is also going to help you a lot with your physical health. But please be careful with overeating because Jupiter on the ascendant can expand your body due to a big appetite. Now, with Jupiter's fifth aspect to your fifth house of Sagittarius, this tells me that you might consider starting a family if you are age appropriate. And this aspect and brief transit will give you an opportunity to get started. You may also think about investing different asset classes, and this transit will give you an opportunity to research those asset classes. And because Saturn is also casting its 10th aspect to your 8th house as well, this is providing a point of manifestation. And this tells that you will be introduced to the right guidance and wisdom when it comes to choosing your investments. Then, with Jupiter's 7th aspect to your 7th house of Aquarius, this tells me that some of you may consider entering into a new relationship if you are single. And this 3-month window of time will give you an opportunity to meet new people. Or if you're already in a committed relationship, then you may end up getting engaged in this 3-month window. Then, when Jupiter re-enters Leo in the middle of 2027, you may very well end up getting married. Or if personal relationships are not your focus point, then I see business and self-employment becoming favorable for you. And for some of you, both business matters and relationships can be favorable with this aspect. And finally, with Jupiter's 9th aspect to your 9th house of Aries, this tells me that some of you may consider starting a higher education course. And this 3-month window of time will give you opportunities to experiment the types of courses you might be interested in. Then once Jupiter re-enters Leo in the middle of 2027, you will have the right information to decide which courses you want to take. This is also a good transit for connecting with your father and taking any long distance trips. So pay attention to any opportunities or changes you notice during this time frame, because this will help you make better decisions as we approach the second half of 2027. So this is what I wanted to cover regarding what's going to happen for a Leo ascendant or moon sign for the year 2026. I hope you guys got something out of this. Once again, if you found this video to be useful, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button. Doing so will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm so this video can reach a vast audience. Also, if you're new to my channel and would like to see similar videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on that bell notification. And if you would like to know more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer, then please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.